process, and then allocating the right people with the right skills, and then motivating them with financial rewards. Yes? Taylor's scientific approach. So we said to take a process in McDonald's, and a lot of you took customer service. And in the customer service, we said that to prepare a continuous improvement plan, you had to say what level of the continuous improvement plan were you going to incorporate into Taylor's scientific approach in that process. So the first thing you would do is look at the Taylor's scientific approach and break down the process. Yes? Codify it, allocate the staff, motivate them. But then, how would you allocate continuous improvement to Taylor's scientific approach? So, let's look at M2 now. M2 says, analyse the effectiveness of the continuous improvement plan using appropriate theories, concepts and models. So, in other words, how effective has continuous improvement been when you've implemented it in that process for that specific thing, like you used customer service or cooking fryers or cooking hamburgers, the process. So after you've done Taylor's scientific approach and you've broken the whole process down, codified it, allocated the staff and then motivated them, then you've allocated your continuous improvement. What level did you do in continuous improvement? Vera, what level did you do in continuous improvement for yours?
Level 2.
Level 2. Okay, so level 2 is to do what? Can you remember? So level 2 is looking at identifying the problem and having a team of people going around to look at identifying those problems. Yes? To see how things can be improved generally. But not really with a directive. Okay, level 2 is a lower level. Okay, so analyse the effectiveness of continuous improvement plan using theories, concepts and models. Theories, concepts and models, we're talking about Taylor, we're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, yes? So analyse how effective this has been. So what you're saying here is what? What are you saying here in M2? So in terms of the theories, Taylor's scientific approach, concepts, continuous improvement and models, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, theories, concepts and models, you're saying how effective has been or not the implementation of your continuous improvement in the process that you're looking at for your plan in P2. Does that make sense? Yeah? So you're kind of giving a hypothetical situation. Because obviously you haven't actually done it, have you? But you're saying, if you were to implement this plan from stage 1 to stage 10, then how successful has the implementation of continuous improvement been in your plan? Yeah? If you're not sure, ask me now before I move on. Okay? So you're saying to yourself, how successful has your continuous improvement been in the process that you're doing? Or not? Yeah? How difficult was it to implement or not? How difficult was it to get resources? How difficult was it to get the change? And so on and so forth. Yeah? Okay. M3 says analyse the rationale for the project methodologies, tools and leadership within the project life cycle. So what is the project life cycle? If we go back to the project life cycle, so analyse the rationale for the project methodologies, tools and leadership within the project life cycle of a given project. So here, if you remembered in P3, you've already done projects before. And the case study wasn't giving you a specific project. So on the project here, you would need to reword the projects you've done and cut it down to 1,500 words. Yes? And then you would need to add in stages 3 and 4 of the project life cycle, which you haven't done. The project 3 is, stage 3 is the installation, or the manufacturing, delivery, installation or testing of your project. And stage 4 is the final testing, maintenance or implementation. Yeah? So you've got stage 3 and 4. So going back to the question, analyze the rationale for project methodologies. So in your project, you would have come up with you would have done a questionnaire, yes? So what questionnaire did you do? Did you do primary research? Or did you do secondary research? And why did you do primary research? Why did you do secondary research? If you did a face-to-face questionnaire, there are other questionnaires available. You've got a telephone questionnaire. You have a face-to-face questionnaire. You have a mail questionnaire. You have an online questionnaire. Why did you use a face-to-face questionnaire as opposed to those other questionnaires? What was the reason behind why you used that as opposed to something else? Probably time and cost. And how did you conduct your sample? Did you do a simple random sample? Did you do a stratified sample? Did you do a modified stratified sample? So what sampling technique did you do? What percentage of the total population did you do to make it representative? Was your research representative of the total population? Okay. So again, what was the rationale for why you did and conducted your methodology? Firstly, what methodology did you do, and why did you do that methodology? So you need to say why you did that methodology. Does everyone understand that? Yes? And then it says tools. So what tools did you use in your data analysis? Tell me some of the tools that you may have used. You would have used some frequency tables, maybe. You may have used percentages. X number of people said this or this. This group of people said this. You may have used graphs. You may have used the mean, median, and mode. The mean is the average. The mode is the most frequently occurring. You may have used the mean, which is the average. You may have used standard deviation, that deviates from the standard. What percentage will deviate from the standard within a 90% or 95% tolerance rate? You may use the coefficient of variation. What tools did you use and why did you use them? You have to justify it, because the question is saying, analyze the rationale. Analyze the rationale. Why did you use those tools and not these tools? Because these tools will give you this information and so on and so forth. Or maybe because it was time. Or maybe because it was cost or analysis. Whatever it was, you have to justify it, yes? And then finally, leadership within the project life cycle. Where are we going to use leadership? What stage of the project life cycle are we going to use leadership? 3 and 4, good. In stages 3 and 4 of the project life cycle, we're going to use leadership. What types of leadership styles do we have? Autocratic, democratic, participative, laissez-faire, charismatic, transformational leadership style, transactional leadership styles. So, in other words, bureaucratic. So what type of leadership styles are you going to use in your project within stage 3 and 4, and why? And why? You have to say why you're going to use that leadership styles. Okay? So that's M3 done. Is everyone happy with M3? Yes? And then the final one is M4. M4 says, critically analyze. Keywords here. Critical. What does critical mean?
Give in detail.
Yes. In detail, your opinions, yes? And be critical of it in terms of the shortcomings of it, the failings of it, and the good side of it as well. How to use appropriate theories, concepts and models in the project life cycle. Theories, concepts and models. Theories, concepts, and models can include theories, tailored scientific approach. Concepts could include different levels in continuous improvement, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And models could include Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Maslow's model. At the bottom of his pyramid, you have psychological needs. The next level up, you have safety needs. Then you have love and belonging needs. Then you have self-esteem needs. And then you have self-actualization. Okay? So how does that model critically analyze how these can be applied between large and small? But to do that, you need to understand the differences between large and small businesses and projects. So to do that, you click on your link here. And in the link, we can see, don't worry about medium projects, only focus on small and large, because the question is saying small and large. We can see that in a small project, you would only have the process using tailored scientific approach. You have establishment of terms of reference, appointing the project team, setup of the project. In tailored scientific, in terms of identifying the process, in the initiation stage. But in a large organization, in the initiation